Hi, how are you, and welcome to our video tutorial. In this video tutorial we're going to see how to implement page redirection in JavaScript. So in this, what's page redirection? First of all, we need page redirection features for three reasons roughly. The first is if we want to refresh the current page we are in. Second, if we want to redirect our users. Let's say we have a website or a web application, and now we want to change the domain name. So we're going to move the entire application to a different domain name. So if we do that, if we change the domain name, then we're going to lose our previous customers. So we can't lose that. So what we can do is we still maintain the previous domain name and the new domain name as well. So whenever people jump into, or whenever people get to access or try to access our site with our previous old domain, then we will redirect the request automatically to our new web application or website. So that's one. The other, if we want to develop specific features for each browser, since we have seen in our previous videos that there are different implementation techniques for different browsers in JavaScript. So different browsers support different type of features from JavaScript standard functions or features. So if we implement different type of pages or web pages for different browsers, then we need to redirect a specific user based on the browser that he or she is using. So after checking which browser is being used, we have to redirect our user to that specific browser page. Okay, so these are the main reasons for using usage of page redirection, and now we'll see how to do that. So let's create a file, HTML file, page redirection.html. Okay, first we just see how to refresh our page. So for that, we will simply put a button. Let's try that. Refresh page. So on click, let's write a function, a JavaScript code in here, rather than calling a predefined function. So let's try that. Location dot reload true. Okay, let's test our file, our HTML file. So open it. There you go. So when we click our button, it's being refreshed. Since we have nothing else, it refreshes so quick, but it's still refreshing our page. Okay, this is the first important. If we have a lot of pages and we need to reload the entire application, or we need to reload, we need to see newly entered records or something like that, we can simply refresh our page using this button. Now we'll see automatic refreshes. Okay, so for automatic refresh to work, we need to define our script in our script tag. We'll see how to implement the automatic behavior. So first, our standard attributes. Now let's create a function. Automatic page refresh. Let's call our function that. Now I want to refresh. When I click a button, I want JavaScript to refresh the page after waiting for like 3 seconds. Okay, so we can do that using set timeout function. The set timeout function is going to do location dot reload true. This will reload this will refresh the page, but this code has to be executed after 3 seconds. Okay, so it accepts in millisecond, so I have to make it 3000, which means 3000 means 3 seconds. Okay. So this one is a comment. Now let's add a new button, so that we'll call the auto refresh function. After 3 seconds. Now on click, we'll call automatic page refresh. Now let's try that. Refresh our page. Now see the reload this page icon flicks for a microsecond. It's just a blink. Let's click on it. Let's count 3 seconds. Now see, the page is being refreshed after 3 seconds. After I click this button, it counts for 3 seconds. This function is doing that, which means set timeout, call this function after this time is elapsed or after this time is completed. So this is how to implement automatic page refresh. Now let's go to page redirection. Let's redirect our page. Now the current page we are in is in the JavaScript training folder. It's a page redirection HTML. Let's try to open a different page. Okay, so let's create a new function. Redirect to my site. Okay, now we provide the location. So we'll say window.location, and we have to provide the web page here. Let's try our website. HTTP freesampleprojects.com. By the way, you will get all these files and other multiple sample projects in this website, and also free training courses of other types. You can check it when you have time. Okay, so this function will change the window.location attribute to this link. So our browser will automatically take us to this site. Now let's add a new button that uses the current function. Redirect manually, because we will implement next on how to redirect automatically. This one will call the redirect to my site. Now let's refresh our page to get the new button. Now when we click this, see, it automatically takes us to the new web application or the new website address that we provided. So this is how to implement page redirection. Now to satisfy the third use we have described before, to identify the browser type and open different type of pages for that specific browser. Now let's try some code. Okay, let's create a different function. Redirect to browser based page. Okay, so now first we have to identify which browser are we using. Okay, so for that I'll declare a variable called browser name, and I'll use the navigator object dot application name. Which application name is being used? Okay, first let's alert the variable so that we'll know what type of names we are getting. So let's copy and paste this button, and let's make it to call this function. So redirect to browser pages. Now let's refresh it. Now when we click this button, it tells us Netscape. Netscape is a general name for I think Opera and Chrome. So let's try to open this site in Internet Explorer and see what will happen. Okay, activate JavaScript. Now redirect. Seriously? Okay, let's try Edge. Open with Microsoft Edge. Now, come on. There's something wrong. Okay, so this method is a bit quirky. Let's try another means. Let's try to find, or let's try to read the user agent for each variable. Now, which means, let's see, the user agent for Chrome contains Chrome. Now, if we open this with Edge, we'll get Edge in it. So we'll find for the letters. This way, we can identify the browser being used. So what we can do is we can read that variable. So for Chrome, I will search for Chrome dot last index of Chrome. So this last index of function means search for the text Chrome in this variable. So if it finds this text, it will return the location. Otherwise, it will return -1. Okay, let's do this for Edge as well, so that we can compare the two. Now, if Chrome not equal to -1, then the browser is Chrome. But we have to give priority for Edge. We have to check for Edge first. Now, if Edge is not equal to -1, which means in this variable, which means we have found Edge text in this variable name. So we are using Edge browser. Using Edge browser. Then else if Chrome not equal to -1, then using Chrome, let's assume. Okay, the character Chrome might have been found in Opera as well. So let's just identify Edge and Chrome. So when the browser is Edge, we need to redirect it to somewhere else. Windows.location equals, let's take it to this website. And if we are using Chrome, then let's take it to Amazing IT News. It's a site for IT related news. They collect different type of IT news here. So it's just my preference. It's just for an example. Okay, so let's see if we have managed to identify. So in Edge browser, it should redirect me to free sample projects. But in Chrome browser, the same button should redirect me to another website called amazingitnews.com. So let's check that. Let's refresh our Chrome. Now, when I click on this, nothing happens. Oops. Okay. So let's see those variables. Maybe I've made some mistakes. So let's see what we have in both variables. Refresh. Now, when we click, -1 for Edge, 81 for Chrome. So we have oh sorry, windows.local. We have to say windows.location. Silly error. Okay, so we don't need those alerts now. It's just my way of debugging. Okay, so when I click this, redirect to browser-based page. Chrome is not equal to -1, then okay, has to be window.location. A lot of errors happening. Okay, so because I'm using Chrome, it redirects me to Amazing IT News. Now let's try the same button in a different browser, in Edge. Okay, when I click on this, it will direct me free sample projects. So this is how we implement page redirection feature in JavaScript. We can do this in a timely fashion. Okay, all we have to do is use set timeout function instead of window.location equal to. Instead of setting the address directly, we can use timing for it. Okay, let's see one. Okay, so let's try to redirect our page. Let's say after 3 seconds. Okay, for that we can define another function just to manage the timing for redirection. Okay, so this function, all it does is just apply the timing, and instead of calling reload function, we'll call this function right here. Okay, we use single quotation because we are calling user defined function. Let's try this one, and we can make changes. So now when I click the button, I'll call the manage timing function. So the manage timing function will manage when is going to be the redirection happens. Okay, so it will be after 3 seconds. 3000 milliseconds is 3 seconds. Okay, for this also, if we want to inform our user, we can put some notification. Like in here, I can say the page will be redirected in 3 seconds after you click the button below. Now let's refresh our page. Okay, so this is the message below. It should be next to it, so we can make break. There you go. Okay, let's change the formatting a little bit more so that it will be a little bit appealing. Let's give another line here. Okay, so After this message is being seen, then when I click this button, it will wait for 3 seconds and then the redirection will happen. See? The same thing is going to happen in this browser as well. Okay? Waiting for 3 seconds and then the redirection will happen. So this is how we use the page redirection feature manually and using a set timeout function. So by this we'll complete our page redirection tutorial. I hope it's clear. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please give us give us your comments on the comment section below. And also make sure to subscribe to our YouTube video channel so that you'll get notifications on our future videos. Thank you very much for watching.